You know someone is a beast when they take a full blow from Netero's Nen ability and just sits back down and is like, yeah, can we talk again? So this episode seemingly is the debut of the new voice actor for Netero. I noticed a change. It doesn't bother me personally all that much because, like, yeah, okay, I see a change, but at the end of the day, it isn't really my native language, so it's not really bothering me all that much. I can see that it's a little bit more gravelly, a little bit more younger sounding, I'm guessing, but overall, it doesn't really bother me, and it fits Netero for the most part. It's not like it's some kawaii voice or some shit, so overall, pretty good replacement. Doesn't sound identical, but it fits the character, and it's good voice actor from what we heard thus far with his performance. Now, a lot of internal things going on within this episode. I felt as though it was very internal with the characters, between internal struggles and just change and growth within the characters, because with this episode, Poof notices that not only Neferpito, but also Yuppie have changed quite a bit, and it's due to the events that they witnessed within this little war that they've had, and this conflict that they've had, that it kind of changed them. With Pito seeing the king and everything that he went through, it changed her into, like, I guess a little bit more of a complex character. And likewise with Yuppie, everything that he went through with Knuckle and Morel, it changed them. And I feel as though between the three of them, the only one that really hasn't changed much is Poof himself. I mean, he changed, you know, he went in that cocoon or whatever, but he hasn't had the same experiences that they had, so he hasn't changed like them. Yuppie is more calm, more rational. He's, I guess, a little bit more, I guess, humanized in a way. And I think that that's what has changed these ants, is humanity. While they're ants, they are reincarnations, I guess, in a way, or rebirth of humans, so it kind of changes them into who they are ultimately. But then you also have the clear-cut change in the king, where he basically says, yeah, before I was just like, I don't care about humans, they fucking, you know, they call us die. Now I value some of them, and I wouldn't mind keeping even you alive, because you're a valuable asset, and I would let you live. And it really marks a change in him, a clear change. He has spoken it up front, like, yeah, I don't look at humans as livestock anymore. I see them a little bit more valuable. And it's because of Komugi. It's obviously the character development of being with her, just the moments. And I don't know if it's that he just really loves her truly, or he values her as a friend, as company, whatever the case may be, if it's love or whatever it is. He ultimately has changed because of that, and we got a clear-cut thing. Because before, he was still dancing on the lines of, like, oh no, you know, I'm an ant, I'm a killer. And now, in front of Netero, he just straight up like, yo, I value humans now. I don't look at it. Let's sit down and talk. And a part of me, while I'm watching the episode, I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, I'm having an internal struggle right now, because the Ant King is sitting there like, yo, I'm gonna sit down, let's talk, let's try to reason things out. And Netero, while I understand why he's doing it, and it's pretty much like, yo, it's going to lead to conflict regardless, so I'm not gonna try to sit down and then mess with my own emotions, because that could also mess with Netero, so he's having an internal struggle as well. It's just really an internal episode with this one, and I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, Netero, you're making me feel like you're a dick right now. And of course, it's not that he's a dick at all, but I'm just looking at it like, this guy, he's sitting down, he's like, let's talk with some words, and Netero's just there with his godlike Buddha statue just fucking clamping at him, and I'm thinking to myself, like, sit down with the dude. But ultimately, Netero is wise. He's wise beyond his years. He knows what this will ultimately lead to, so why would I sit down and make my heart sway and feel kind of bad for him because of the humanized side of him? Because the Ant King right now, there's two of him. Well, not two of him, literally, but there's two sides to him. His humanized side, because of what Komugi did to him, you know, just giving him that feeling. And then there's the killer ant side. And none of them is dominant right now, as Netero said. He's just one person with two sides clashing. And ultimately, the king wants to be ruler. He is king. Bottom line, at the end of the day, I am king. And that can't go down. The government ain't gonna let him just, yes, he is the king, you know. And he's not gonna just surrender and say, I'll be a normal human or a normal person, you know, in society. So where will it really lead to? So Netero is in the right, but it's just a part of me, I'm like, why you keep doing it, Netero? Why you keep doing them epic stances with that amazing looking Nen ability of the Buddha statue? I'm like, fuck, man. It shows a little bit of the king and just how strong he is, because he took, what, 2 or 3 of them, and he's just like, the only thing that it really did was one time it made a little bit of blood come down, but other than that, it was like, he's taking direct hits from Netero's Nen ability, and it ain't even really phasing him like that, and he sits down again, and he's like, let's be mature about it. And I really like that it was a very character-driven episode, and it showed change and growth within the characters. And while there was a little bit of action, it wasn't even really necessary. And to be honest with you, it was kind of like, every time he hit the king, I was like, Netero, why, man? Why? I know why, but why? You know what I'm saying? So it was really just, in all honesty, the best word to put it is an internal struggle with all the characters constantly. Like, you know, they've changed a lot, they've grown a lot, they thrived a lot. And I'm a little bit interested as well to see if the royal guards show up. Will the king say, yeah, help me, or, you know, get the fuck out of here, I don't need your help? What will happen? Because he already, like, to me, to be honest with you, even with the king saying it, I just could clear as day see that Netero is outmatched, clearly. Clearly. He's using his net ability, and it's like a child throwing a tantrum to the king. Clearly. Clearly. It's nothing to him. So, he's outmatched. And then if you throw in the royal guards coming in, which I don't think the king would want their help, or he doesn't need it, so he wouldn't want it. But he has no way of winning this one. So, I'm just thinking to myself, like, right now, the best thing Netero could have tried to do is sit down and reason with him. But again, there's no reasoning with somebody that is ultimately wants power. Regardless of what, the king, I am king. It doesn't matter. I am on top. And that's the ant side that'll pull down his humanity. So, very good episode this week. A lot of setups, a lot of deep stuff, a lot of character development and internal struggles. And just ultimately, I really enjoyed the subtle nature of the episode and the things that is going on within the characters. And it's just really something unique. Again, I feel as though that's what Hunter x Hunter does best. It brings uniqueness. It brings something different. It's not going to give you this big bang, even though it did give it with the Buddha statue, you know, the net ability of the Buddha statue. But it was very unique, and I really just enjoyed it for what it was. I'm going to give this episode 8.5 out of 10. Nice animation, and it was just really a nice, subtle change with character development. It did a lot of nice things, and ultimately a very good setup for what's going to be next week. It looks like it's just going to be an outright bombshell match. Netero versus the King Meruem. Let's go. I'm so fucking ready. We've been waiting for this shit for like how many episodes now, and it's finally here. Next week, can't wait to see it. So ultimately, yeah, very good episode. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, does Netero have even a slither of a chance against Meruem, the king? Which, by the way, I don't know why people keep on saying, oh, you're spoiling the name. His name was said very early on. We heard it ourselves. There's nothing to do with me reading the manga. I've said it a million times. I don't need to read the manga. The volume back there, I bought that shit like 3 years ago just because I'm a collector before I even checked out Hunter x Hunter. I do not need to read the manga. The anime is way more of an amazing experience than reading the manga. So yeah, before people say, why are you saying the name? It's already been said. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see Netero versus the King go down. It's going to be so hype, and I am so ready. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.